lips and the thoughts of all our hearts be now and always acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Now every year his parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. And when Jesus was just 12 years old, they went up as usual for the festival. Of course, Passover was the great Jewish family festival. Each family came together for a special meal that night to commemorate the Last Supper they shared before the Exodus from Egypt. There was no way they could meet together as one nation, for they were slaves at that time. So they ate together, family by family. By the time that Jesus was 12 years old, some families used to go up from their homes to Jerusalem for the Passover festival. This is how the custom developed, but they didn't go into the temple to celebrate. Out-of-town families would rent a simple guest room for the evening and celebrate together. And the ritual then was much the same as it is in Jewish families to this very day. The father of the family would say prayers and bless the bread, and the mother, very important in the family, would light a candle, and the youngest child would ask his father to explain the meaning of the ceremonies. The Holy Family was particularly close. They'll have enjoyed sharing the family meal. Jesus and his brothers will have thanked their parents for everything that they'd done for them. But young Jesus was growing up. And the next day he went into the temple to question the teachers of the law about the Hebrew scriptures. And he was very respectful to the older generation of people. But they soon discovered that Jesus had a deeper understanding of God than they did. His parents had been travelling a whole day with the caravan, which was to escort them back to Nazareth. And before they realised Jesus was missing, great alarm all around, you can imagine, until they found him in the temple. Now there was beginning to be a conflict between his duty to his heavenly Father and that to his earthly parents. He went back to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them, it says, so long as Joseph lived. Of course, Joseph isn't mentioned when Jesus began his ministry, so we've always assumed that by this time he'd probably died. That doesn't necessarily mean that he was older than Mary. Most people died young in those days. And the remarkable thing is that Mary was still alive when her son reached 30. He must have looked after his mother extremely well. Which brings me at last to Mothering Sunday. Of course, it's the day when children take flowers to their mothers and say, "Thank you for all that you've done for me." Mothering Sunday, of course, is a day when families get together if they can and celebrate the sort of mutual love, mutual dependence and self-sacrifice that St. Paul mentions in his letter to the Ephesians. Togetherness, of course, is a wonderful thing. It's good to be together. Human beings seem to have been the first creatures to evolve the ability to love. And God put us in families so that we could practice love from the very beginning. We start by loving our mothers, and loving them begins with saying thank you to them. And Mothering Sunday is an important day in learning what makes us truly human. Of course, for some people, the mother figure is somebody other than the person who gave them birth. But of course today we not only give thanks for those who gave us birth, but for the whole sphere of motherhood, for those who are a mother to us, whoever that person may be. And that is why Mothering Sunday is much broader and deeper than mere Mother's Day. We celebrate Mothering Sunday in church because that makes us part of a bigger family, God's family, and we are all brothers and sisters together church family. And in our family service at 10:30 today, every pew in this church, I'm sure, will be occupied by children and families, I hope. They ask questions, like the youngest child did at the Jewish festival of Passover. Just as Jesus interrogated the teachers of the law, the children learn from the grown-ups. The grown-ups learn by teaching the children. Have you ever been in a situation where a young child asks you a difficult question and they put you on the spot, and they do all the time? But it gets you thinking. And often we have to say, well, I don't know the answer to that one, but I'll find out. We have to be honest with them, because they know if we're trying to pull the wool over their eyes, as we say. We mustn't shut them away from the adults. We must learn and worship together as a family, which is why our family services are very important, albeit only 6 times a year. But still, it's a time when we can come together as the whole family. The child was asked, what word do we often most hear in church? And gave the answer, shh. How sad. How sad when all we say to children in church is, shh. We know what is the best of intentions, because we want them to listen and to pay attention. But that can be misinterpreted if we say it too much. On Mothering Sunday, we give the children a very important task to say thank you to Mother, for those who gave us birth, or to those who are a mother to us today, and for Mother Church, and for Mary, the mother of all Christians. In this way, we show that children and grown-ups alike must be helped to feel included. And we all learn the importance of being together. A bit like a large patchwork quilt, all shapes and sizes and colours and textures. But that is what makes up the family of the church, because we are brothers and sisters together within the fellowship. And so, on this Mothering Sunday, I wish